Shalom and good day all, this is Tehillim29 back again for some indie comic reviews. And in these indie comic reviews, I've got a comic that I picked up recently, which was on display at my LCS, which is called I Saw Santa issue 1. There will be an issue 2 of it, which will probably be covered on another video. And of course, Racer X issue 4. I'll now get things ready and organized for the first one I'll be reviewing. So, first things first, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? Sure enough it does, to which I do give it a 7 out of 10. Next is the area of the internal art as we have a look around the beginning, the middle and of course the end, and also what's happening story-wise with the characters. So as the story begins, it starts on the eve on a certain night here. And of course, we have Sam and Twitch being called in to review a scene, overlook a scene. Jumping a little bit further within the story, we see the character of Santa returning to the North Pole. And whilst this is occurring, we've got the character of Santa wondering why couldn't he have done anything better to sort of like help prevent the situation. Drawing closer towards the end, and we finally come across the antagonist within the story. Now, I think this story actually might be connected to something else that's happening in the King Spawn run right now. And what's happening in the King Spawn run is that it sounds like there are some demons that have escaped hell. And I wouldn't be surprised if one of them has actually taken possession of this particular child in the story. And last but not least, towards the end. So, for the internal art, I give it a 7 out of 10. Next is the area of the story racing, which consists of time, location, and cast. So, moving into the area of time, we have X-Receive, as well as Moments Later being used. Of course, moving into the location where it's taking place, to which we learn it's taking place in Brooklyn. And of course, we get to see some things happening in the North Pole. Last but not least, the cast of characters consisting of Sam and Twitch, Santa, the Anderson family, who are the victims of the beginning of the story. And last but not least, who our antagonist is called Charlie. Maybe his surname is Sheen. Alright, for the overall rating for this story, I give it a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to move into Racer X, issue 4. So as we move into Racer X, issue 4, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that's happening inside with the story? It does, to which I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Next is the area of the internal art as we have a look around the beginning, the middle, and of course the end, and also what's happening story-wise with the characters. So as the story begins, we get a bit of a present to past flashback around the beginning of the story. So, and in it we get to see Rex, or Racer X, who's sort of like with his old man and his younger brother Speed. Jumping into the middle of the story, we do get to catch up with what is happening in the present racing at the present race course that they're at. And last but not least, we have Racer X visiting his old man in the hospital to leave him some flowers. So for the internal art, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Next is the area of the story racing, which, as I brought up before, consists of time, location, and cast, unless, should this be further in the series, story will also include like comic book references. So first things first is the area of time, to which we have 5 years earlier being used within the story, as well as the present day, and they were sort of like seen quite a bit within this story. Of course, we had the location, with the location being the hospital towards the end. Last but not least, we also had the cast of characters consisting of Rex, who is Racer X, Speed Racer, and also Trixie. My overall story rating for this is a 7.5 out of 10. Until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.